Can everyone see me? Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming along today. My name is Richmond, and I'm one of the teachers here at Mathspace. Joining me on this call is Yasmin, and she's going to be helping me out today, another person that works at Mathspace. And today we've actually decided to turn off the chat so that people can't talk to everyone else. Now, we had some feedback last time we had this session that the chat was really distracting. Some people were just spamming it. So we decided to have a go at turning it off. I guess I would say that if you want it turned back on, just like any real circumstance in a classroom, you know, these things are a privilege, and if people abuse them, we got to kind of take them away. So we'll try it just for today. At the moment, the chat only works to either myself or Yasmin. And so if you have something to say, feel free to ask it through there or through the Q&A. Now, I'm just going to get Yas to say hi. Oh, Yas, your mic was very low. Otherwise, my volume is pretty low. I'm not sure. But do you want to try and say hello again, Yas?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah, now we can. Thanks for joining us. Now, Yasmin has the power to kick people out. So we didn't do this last time, but you know, if people are not being very nice on the chat or just aren't being nice to us, see you later. But hopefully we won't need to do that today. We're gonna make a start. Today's session is on decimals. And I am just going to quickly share my screen. All right, give me a second. Okay, here we go. So here's my screen. Now, for today's session, we're not doing a quiz from Kahoot or Quizzes today. We're going to try something different. And basically, I've created a quiz on a PowerPoint slide. So in order to join this, you're going to have to go to joinpd.com, enter the code EFEIZ, and connect. So at the moment, I've only got 16 people on here, but there are about 40 people on the call, so 50 people on the call now. So if you haven't already, split your screen or grab another device, go to this URL, joinpd.com, and type in this particular code. I'll give you another couple of, maybe another minute or so to join. Even once we start, the code will still be up on the screen, so you can just have a look at that and join later. Yeah, so the one thing that I do want to kind of shout out is that at the end of this session, you'll be sent a survey, and we would really, really appreciate it if as many people who come here can fill it out, if they have the time. The reason for that is because we take that feedback very, very seriously, and we adapt. Well, I will adapt what I do depending on what people are saying. So just like people said before that the chat was a bit distracting, we're trying something different. If you want it back on, then you know, maybe say that in the survey as well. One other suggestion that people did say was, can we turn on our voices? And for the time being, we're going to say no, only because there are some privacy issues. So because these sessions are recorded, and then they get uploaded onto the Mathspace Academy website, we're just not really sure whether we're allowed to put, you know, students' voices up there. So we're going to say no for now, but please communicate with us through the other features at the moment. All right, we've got about 38 people on. We're going to start. I'm just going to have a look. So let's make a start. All right. Oh, so this might. Okay, in today's session, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be looking at our solutions to our puzzle last week. I actually didn't get any solutions come into me. I don't know the reason for that. There could have been a couple of things wrong at our end. Maybe no one sent it through, I'm not sure. But there's already been at least one person I know that said they've done the solution, so that's awesome. We'll go through that. We're going to do our quiz. We're going to play a game. And for this game, really, you're not going to need anything except your screen and being on this presentation, this Pear Deck presentation. And we're going to have a chat about the scale of the universe. I found a really cool little program for us to have a look at. And then the last thing we're going to do is do some questions of Mathspace. And then I've got another puzzle for you today, which I think you'll really like. So without further ado, let's make a start. All right. What are we actually trying to do today? Well, like all the previous other sessions, this is just a recap. You should have done this content before, and we're just going back over it. And today we're going to do three things. One of them's not on here. Well, first is we're going to recap over place value. We're going to talk about rounding, and then we're going to do how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimal numbers. So, all right. We're going to start off with magic square solutions. Now, the first part of the puzzle was to fill in these 9 boxes with these 9 numbers and make sure that every row, every column, and every diagonal summed to 3 on 2, right? Or 3 halves. No, so this was the solution. And what you can do is in this pair deck, there'll be little prompts for you to interact with this slide. So what I want you to do is down the bottom, there's a little fish. And I want you to click and drag that fish onto where you were up to in terms of this problem. So did you get it? Stick it on the green box. Were you nearly there, but it was just a bit too hard, didn't quite get there? Put it on the yellow, didn't attempt it, put it on the gray. Can you chuck your little fish on where you got up to with the 3x3 magic square from yesterday? From last week, sorry. All right. Now, I'm just going to lock everyone's responses. If you haven't put something in, that's okay. I'm going to click the show responses. And can you see all of these responses? Hang on, I need to do something else in a second. Give me a second. All right. Let me share. I'm going to just stop sharing again. I'm going to share my entire screen. Give me a second. Here we go. All right. So here we go. This is where everyone went for the first one. Lots of people didn't attempt it. I'm surprised. Well, there's probably what, maybe 10, 12 people who got it. A couple of people nearly. Some people like, no way, too hard. Some people put fishes randomly on the screen. All right, let's go to the next one. This was the solution for the next one. This one was crazy hard. I didn't know whether people would get it. I just put it out there to see if anyone would. But you had to put all of these numbers, 16 numbers, into these 16 squares and make sure that they all sum to 34 on 3. Again, put your responses in, whether you got it, whether you nearly got it, whether you didn't attempt it. And I'll give you a little hint. To be honest, I didn't really know how to do these either. I made this question up, but I did a bit of a cheat. So if you didn't know, there's actually a way to solve magic squares that there's like a procedure that you can do to solve it. So I didn't go through by trial and error. I just went, okay, tell me how to find the answer. And I went through and I systematically generated it and checked it and made sure it was all right. So if you ever want to amaze anyone with your math skills without having to do any maths, go look up how to solve a magic square, because that's what I did. And you'll be able to create your own magic squares, challenge your friends, and dazzle them with your magic square skills. All right, so I'm going to lock the responses. I'm going to pull up the responses and let's have a look. Wow, there were 2, 4, 5 people who got it. One person who was in between. So well done to those 5 people. Lots of people didn't attempt it. That's okay. It was pretty hard. Okay, let's keep going. So the way that the quiz is going to work is very similar to what I've just shown you here. Basically, every slide is going to ask for some sort of response. It's not always going to be a click and drag. Sometimes it's going to be type something in, type in a number, type in a word. Sometimes it's going to be draw on the screen. Sometimes it's going to be multi-choice, right? So just watch out for the different options. I've actually got a timer. Where does my timer go? Let me pull up my timer. And on this timer, I'm going to basically give you about maybe 30 seconds to be able to do each question. All right. So can someone tell me, can you see this timer? Yes, can you tell me if people are seeing the timer on the chat? Yeah, okay. Thanks, Krish.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right. So let's go. Something's not happening for me. Here we go. All right, here we go. Question 1, place value. What is the place value of that indicated column? We've got 85.1643972. All right, have a think about it. Time starts now. You've got 30 seconds. Type in what is the name of that particular column. 20 seconds left. Well, we know 8 is the tens column, 5 is the ones column. What on earth is that 9? 10 seconds left. Type it into the paired X slide. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to stop it there. Oh, I shortchanged you 0.67 of a second. All right, let's have a look. Locking your responses. And I'm going to show the responses. Now, can everyone see this? Can everyone see everyone else's responses? Beautiful. So we've got 100,000, 100,000th, excellent. Tens of thousands. That's the opposite way, right? That's on the left side of the decimal point, 100,000s. So notice that there's people are kind of on the right track. They've got the right kind of like place values, but remember that when we're on the right side of the decimal point, you've got to add a TH, you've got to on the end, right? So let's have a look. Let's go. I'm going to go back to the question, right? So we've got this first one is our 10. This 6 is a hundredths. This is thousandths. This is 10,000ths. And then this is actually 100,000ths. Right, so well done to everyone who got 100,000ths. On a side note, what I'm going to do, or attempt to do, is at the end of this, basically all the answers are saved to me. So what I'll do is I'll accumulate everyone's scores at the end, and I'll announce a winner for this quiz next week. All right. So the answer to question 1, 100,000ths, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths. All right, next one. Place value. What is the value of the indicated column? This is a different question. I'm just going to remind you, right? It's not the same as before. It's not what is the name of. This is what is the value of the indicated column. You ready? And go. You got 30 seconds. I can't give any clues here, otherwise it'll be a bit too easy. It'll give away the answer. Someone's raised their hand. Let me have a look. What's up? All right, 2 seconds left. If you've got a question, by the way, type it into the chat. Either Yaz or myself will help you out. Okay, so what is the value of this indicated column? So this is different because the value of this 8, we're not talking about where is it, what is the place value. We're talking what is the actual value. So we're actually saying how does this 8 correspond to this particular place value. So this 8 is actually 80, right? 8 tens, that's the value of it, right? 80. This 5 is just 5 ones, which is 5. This is 1/10. This is 6 hundredths. So this 4 is actually 4 thousandths, right? That's the value of it. It could be, I can't even type anyway. Hang on, let me annotate on the screen. Give me a second. It could be, you could have written 4 thousandths. Oh goodness, I'm running out of room. Go away. No, 4 thousandths. Or you could have written 0.004, right? Either way really works. Sorry, there shouldn't have been a decimal point there. Let me get rid of that, right? So either 4 thousandths or 0.004, I'd accept either. Okay, next question. You ready? Let me reset the timer. I was a little bit slow on the last one. Clear. All right, ready? Question 3. Round it. Round this number to the nearest hundredth. All right, 30 seconds, let's go. Rounding, how do you round? What's the procedure? Now, remember, you're typing in a number this time. You're not typing in a worded answer, you're just typing in a number. Remember to put in your decimal point, don't forget that. And 3 seconds left. And the end. All right, ready? So how do you round this number? Now remember, when you want to round, all you do is you okay, what is the place value that I'm rounding to? I'm going to the nearest hundredth. Where is the hundredth column? We've got tens. Oh, let me change my color. We've got tens here, ones, tenths, hundredths. So I want to round this 6. I want to round that number. Everything after it, I want to get rid of. Now, in order to know how to round, I look at the number after the hundredths column, which is the thousandths column, and I look at this one here. And I say to myself, is that number below 5 or greater than or equal to 5? Because if it's greater than or equal to 5, then we want to round that 6 up to the next number. If it's below 5 or less than 5, I want to round it down. So because this 4 is below 5, I round this 6 down or keep it the same. And so my number should be 85.16. All right. All right. So rounding decimals. That's how you do it. Hope you remembered that because there's another rounding question coming up. Ready for the next one. All right. Next question. Round the following number to the nearest 10. Go. 30 seconds. Someone said they're having trouble organizing their desktop. You should be able to split your screen up. So half the screen is like looking at me. Other half of the screen is looking at the Pear Deck presentation. Or half is looking at the Zoom, half is looking at the Pear Deck presentation. See you, Charlotte. Thanks for coming. All right, 30 seconds is up. Now, I did try and trick you with this question. It didn't say round it to the nearest tenths. So I don't want you to round this decimal number. I actually wanted you to round the 8 here, right? How many people did I trick? Put your hand up. Oh no, 6 people, 7 people. All right, so let's have a look. How do I do this one? All right, so I want to round the nearest 10, which is, this is the tens column. I look at the next one after that, which is this 5, and I say to myself, is that 5 bigger or equal to 5? Yes, it is. So I've got to round this 8 up, which means that this answer should be 90. That's the answer for this one. All right. Put all your hands down. And okay. Now I'm not sure. I think we're going to something different now. Let's have a look. Oh, I forgot. I've got to be showing people's responses. Here we go. Oh, wow. I did trick some people. Oh, wow. How many people did I trick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A number of people. All right. Oh, wrong one. Let's go back. All right, let's go. Next one. All right, we are going to play a game now. And I don't know if you've ever played this in the classroom. I'm going to try playing it online. The name of the game is Greedy Pig. And you don't have to do anything except write when I ask you to write. Now, the way that this game works is I'm going to bring up some virtual dice and I'm going to roll a die one at a time. Every time I roll a die, you have to put a number in one of these boxes. And you'll notice that you'll be able to draw on your screen, right? So feel free to go ahead and start drawing on your screen, leaving a pretty art picture if you get a little bit bored. And what happens is as I roll these dice, you're putting in a number one at a time in each of these boxes. Now, your goal is to make the biggest number possible, okay? So you're going to have to decide, I roll a number. Where should you put that number? Should you put it to the left? Should you put it to the right? Should you put it in the middle? Once you put a number in, you cannot change it. Now, because I'm not standing in front of you all and can't check on you because you don't have your classmates around you checking, making sure whether you're cheating. Obviously, I can't tell whether you're cheating, but I'm going to ask for honesty here. Once you put a number into a box, don't change it, please. Okay. So the die that I'm going to roll is a 10-sided die. So you're going to be able to get the number from 0 all the way through to 9. And you're going to need to decide where to put that number. Now, this is a practice round. We're going to do once practice just to make sure that everyone knows what they're doing. And then the second time we run this game is going to be for real, and it's going to be winner takes all. Okay. So if you got any questions, please ask them now in the chat or ask them in the Q&A, and we'll try and answer them. I'm just going to bring up my die. I'm going to have to switch between screens here. All right. Now, I don't know if you do this, but there are actually lots of different sided die. This one here is a 4-sided die. I can't remember the names of all of these polyhedra. Polyhedra is just like the 3D version of a shape, right? Everyone should know this one. This is a 6-sided die, which is a cube. But yeah, how about this? Someone get back to me for that part of their homework tonight or for this week. Go back and tell me what the names for all of these different shapes are, all these different polyhedra are. Tell me what they are. All right, you ready? So we're not going to roll a 6-sided die. This is an 8-sided die. This is a 10-sided die. That's the one we're using today. This is a 12-sided die. This is a 20-sided die. And this is another type of 10-sided die, which we call a hundreds die. But I'm going to clear this. I don't want to 6-sided die. I'm going to use a 10-sided die. All right, so what's going to happen is I'm going to throw my die. And it's going to tell me. It's going to land on a 7. So what everyone has to do now in their presentation on where they can draw, back in here, I want you to put a 7 in one of those 9 boxes. Okay? Put a 7 in. Lock it in. Do not rub it out and change it, please. This is practice round anyway. It doesn't really matter. Put it in. All right. So then once everyone's put it in, I'm going to give you probably 10 seconds. Let me change this, eh? How do I change this? I'm going to change this down to 10 seconds. Everyone will have 10 seconds after I roll the die to be able to put a number in. And then we'll keep going from that. I'm going to make a new rule, which I've never really had before, but just because we're all online, it makes things really hard. If you miss a number, whatever numbers that are blank on your screen at the very end, you just got to fill it in with 0, right? So make sure you put the number in quick. Make sure you're not doing anything else and dilly-dallying. All right, you ready? So first number was 7. I can't actually write on this. I'm gonna let me show you what I should do very quickly. All right, so I'm gonna put the 7. I'm gonna put the 7 here. Okay. Now you're going to see the 7 on the screen every single time, so just be mindful of that when I switch to the dice. All right, I'm going to switch to the dice again. I'm going to roll it again. Hey, yeah. Another 7. That didn't roll very well, but oh well. Another 7. So go back to your presentation screen. I'm going to put in another 7. I'm going to put in a 7. Oh, this is getting hard. I'm going to put a 7 here, just in case. Don't copy me. I'll know if you copied me. All right. And let's, this is really hard to be able to do the timer and do the drawing and everything at the same time. All right, I'm going to stop there. You had enough time. All right. For the practice round, I won't do the timer actually. All right, ready? I'm going to do the next roll. So 2 7s so far. Yeah. 3. 3 is the next number. Go back in, fill out a 3 somewhere. Where do I put the 3? I'm going to put the 3 in here. Right. Remember, you want biggest number, not smallest number, biggest number. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds. All right. I'm going to roll the next die. All right. Ready? Next die. Yeah. Didn't work. Oh, it's a 6. Figure out where you want to put your 6. Where are you going to put that 6? Oh, this is getting tricky. I'm not happy. Oh, where should I put it? Where should I put it? Oh, I'm going to put it here. All right. Oh, I'm not feeling good about this. I have a feeling I'm going to not get a very good number. All right, let's keep going. Should have had enough time. Wait, can't go back to my dice. All right, here we go. Ready? Next die. Yeah. 3. Oh, this is making things tricky. All right, come back here. Put in a number. What number should I put in? Where should I put it? I'm going to put it here. All right. Everyone put their numbers in. All right. Let's do the next one. I'm gonna rush through these next ones, so get ready to keep up. Yeah. 0. Put in a 0. I am sure that 0 has messed some people up. All right. I've got 1 space for a 0. I can't get any more zeros. All right. Next one. Okay. 2. 8. 8. Yeah. Hooray. Oh, goodness. This is a tough decision. Where do I put my 8? All right. I'm going to hedge my bets here. I'm going to put my 8 here. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be tough. All right. Okay. Next one. This does not make it easy. All right. Ready? And 3. Oh, I could potentially have the perfect number. Oh, no. All right, I could. This will make or break me. I don't know about you guys. Let's have a look. Last one, last number. All right. 7. Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, this is only the practice round. Otherwise, I would have completely demolished that. And that's your perfect number right there. Did anyone else get their perfect number? You don't actually need to write anything. I am going to share everyone's results. Let's have a look. You didn't just copy me, did you? All right, I'm going to lock the screen, show the responses. Oh, let's have a look. Someone got an 80, 87. Oh, this one person was so close. Oh no, this person got hammered. Let me clear all this annotation. Give me a second. All right, oh, I'll try it again. Clear it. Clear all drawings. All right, let's have a look. 86. Oh, so close. Oh, that person was really close as well. This person, bang on. Well done. All right, everyone get the game? All right, this is for realsies this time. So let's go back. Let's go to the next one. All right, winner takes all. This is for all the glory. You can beat out 50 other people here. You ready? Okay, so we're going to go quick this time. I don't think I'm even going to use a timer, right? This is going to be quick. This is going to be sharp. I'm just going to roll it. I'm going to come back to this screen, give you 2 seconds, put in a number, and then I'm going to go back to the other screen, right? I'm not going to put in a number because otherwise people are going to copy me. They know how awesome I am at this game. So, you ready? First number is 0. Oh, no, it's not a 10. We can't. I'm only doing 0 to 9, so this is a 0, right? Put in a 0. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right, next number. You ready? Yeah. 8. Well, that's a pretty good number. Where should you put that? Oh, that's tough because you could get a 9. You ready? Next number. 7. 8 and a 7. Choose where you want to put it in. All right, next number. Oh, 3. Lots of 7s and 3s coming up. What's going on? This dice is rigged. All right, next one. Oh, first 9. Where are you going to put that 9? Oh my goodness. What's really not good is I've forgotten how many times I've rolled this die. This is not good. Can someone tell me how many dice I've rolled? Have I rolled it 4 times? Where was it? Was it 0? 5 times. All right, we got 4 more numbers then. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 4 more numbers. You ready? I'm going to keep count on my hands. I can't remember so many things. Ready? We've got a 5. Next number is a 6. Next number is a to one more last number. Ready? 2. Oh, those were some interesting numbers. All right. Now, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to lock everyone's screens. Everyone should have written a number. Let's have a look. How did everyone go? Oh, you're going to put, oh, someone tried to erase. I could see that, you cheater, whoever this person was. Someone's left out a number there. All right. This person seems to have gotten the perfect number. So did, oh, this person was close, so close. Okay, so this was actually a pretty much easier one, I think, by the way that the numbers came out. All the low numbers came out to the end, so it was a little bit easier to do. All right, well done, everyone. All right, I'll check those later, see who won. Well, we actually had multiple winners, so I have to think about. I have to think about who this was. Now, all of you should have a name, I believe, right? Like chicken or like pig or whatever it is. So can you please remember? Can you please remember what your name was? Because I'll call that person out next week to announce who the winners were for everything. Okay. All right. Thanks for playing Greedy Pig. I really like that game. Okay, let me get rid of my dice if I can. Give me a second. All right. So let's go back to our quiz. All right. So let's have a look. Nope. Go to the next screen. All right, you ready? Now, I'm just going to check what the time is. All right. Now, multiplying by powers of 10, determine the value of 5.1796. You got 30 seconds. Go. Oh, I got rid of my timer. You guys go anyway. By the time I get my timer up and get that going, then we're going to stop. Tell me what happens when you multiply it by 100. Multiply that decimal by 100. Now, this is all mental math here. You shouldn't need a calculator. Let me pull up my timer. All right. Reset this back to 30. Okay. All right. And the answer is, I'm going to lock your screens, actually. No more writing. The answer is, well, let's first of all talk about how to do it. When you're multiplying by powers of 10, what that means is 10, 100, 1000, right? And by the way, this can be represented as this, right? 10 is just 10. 100 can be represented as 10 squared. Why 10 squared? Because 10 squared is 10 times itself, which is 10, right? That's what the little square means. And 10 times 10 is 100, right? So we can actually represent 100,000, 10,000 as powers of 10. Let me show you the next one. 10 cubed, right? What's 10 cubed? Remember, the little power at the top means how many times you're multiplying that bottom number by itself. So this is 10 times 10 times 10. And that means, well, 10 tens are 100 times another 10 is 1,000. Notice also that when I'm multiplying 10, when I've got powers of 10, this power really just tells me how many zeros are in my number, right? So similarly, if I've got multiplying by 100, I've got 2 zeros here. When I'm multiplying, right, by powers of 10, previously, if you were in primary school, right, this is what they told you. They said, okay, what is 51 times 100, right? Sorry, the numbers are so similar, but I didn't mean to, right? 51 times 100. Most times in primary school, they just say, oh, just add zeros, right? You just go, oh, that's 51 with 2 zeros on the end. And that is correct, but there's actually a different way to think about it. Especially when we get to decimals, we have to kind of expand the way that we think about multiplying by 10 or 100 or 1,000, right? So we're not just adding zeros here. What we are doing is we're actually moving the decimal point, right? So in this particular case, the multiplication tells us the direction to move it in, right? This tells us that we're moving the decimal point here, we're moving this decimal point to the right. We're moving it this way. I don't know if that's reverse for you, but that's the right way for me, right? So we're going to the right. So we're actually moving the decimal point this way. And How many times do I move the decimal point? Well, that's how many zeros I have. So I'm moving it 2 times because I've got 2 zeros here. So I'll go once, I go twice. And so the decimal point now fits between the 7 and the 9. So I've got this, my number is actually 517.96. Oh, I forgot to lock the slide. Oh, I have locked the slide. That's okay. So that's your answer, 517.96, right? How does this idea of moving this point, how does that apply to the example that I talked about before when I did 51 times 100, right? Now remember, even if I don't see the decimal point, it's there, right? The decimal point is after the 1, right? Because it goes tens, ones, decimal point, tenths, hundredths, right? So even though there's no decimal point and there's no decimal place values, it's there, but it's 0. It's a decimal point, and all the decimal place values are all just 0. So when I now multiply this by 100, I'm moving the decimal point to the right. How many times am I moving to the right? Twice. So I'll go once, twice, and notice that I get my 5100 or my 5100, right? Exactly the same. But we want to shift our idea of multiplying by tens or hundreds to, instead of just adding zeros on, to moving the decimal point, okay? All right, so that is how you multiply by 10, 100, or 1,000, right? Or 10,000, whatever it is. Okay, next question. Let me have a look at, see how people went. Yeah, excellent. Well done. Lots of people got this right. All right. So next question. Dividing by powers of 10. Determine the value of 2,169.354 and divide it by 1,000. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. This is very, very similar to the last question that I explained. So please have a think about what I just said. But remember, it's going to be different because that last one was times, this one's divide. So tell me what you think. Dividing 1,000, how many zeros? All right, 3 seconds left. 2 and 1 and all right, stop there. All right, so let's have a look and see people's responses. Bang on. People got, one person went the wrong way. You times instead of divided. Okay, let's have a look. One person didn't go far enough, so let's have a look. How do you do it? Same thing. The only difference is that the division sign tells you, instead of moving the decimal point to the right, you've got to move it to the left. You've got to go this way. So how many times do I move it? 1, 2, 3 times. And I've got to move, so I'll move it to the left 3 times. I go once, twice, 3 times. So I put the decimal point between the 2 and the 1. So the answer to this is 2.169.3. I put 2 decimal points on, sorry. Let me get rid of that second one. 2.16935 right? That's the answer. Notice that I don't say like 2.169,354, right? Remember, after the decimal point, we just list the digits out. All right, let's keep going. Now, there's something that I want to show you. Oh, no. Let me get rid of this. All right, what number would you divide 5,000 by to make it 0.05? Multiple choice answer. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Have a go. Similar. Let me try and get rid of these annotations, these drawings. You've got 6 options. A, 4, B, 4.6, C, 4.7. No! I'm going to skip this because, do you know what? I've actually messed up. What I'm going to get you to do is just think about the answer, because I actually messed this up big time. I didn't go back and change these answers. All right. Don't worry about the multi-choice. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to think about what the answer should be. What number would you divide 5,000 by to make it 0.05? Okay. So really what I'm thinking about is, where is the decimal point on this 5,000? Remember, it's at the end here. How many times do I have to move it? Well, I have to move it once, twice, 3, 4. 4 times to get to 0.5. But then I need a 0.05. So I need to skip over it one more time. And so this, the number of skips is how many zeros I need on my number, on my powers of 10 to change this from 5,000 to 0.05. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So this is going to be 10 to the power of 5, right? And 10 to the power of 5 is 1 with 5 zeros after it. So it's going to be that, which is I need to divide it by 100,000, right? The next question is going to be exactly the same. I forgot to, I didn't quite finish these two slides, so please forgive me. All right, question 8. Let me get rid of these things again. So the next multi-choice answer isn't going to work either. I'm really, really sorry. Let's have a go. But read the question, think about it in your head. Ready? What number would you multiply 3.679 by to make it 36,790? All right. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Let's go. Remember, don't worry about the multi-choice. Think about how many times you need to move that decimal point. Yeah. I guess you could type it into the chat. Feel free to do that. Yeah, don't click on the answer, please. Don't click on it. It's the answers aren't there. Okay, so how do you move the? What number would you multiply 3.679 by to make it 36,790? Well, I'm just going to move this decimal point until it gets to the right place, which is after this zero here. So I'm going to move it to the right once, twice, 3 times. And when I move it 3 times, that's 3,679. If I move it again, remember, if you skip over nothing, you just put in a 0, right? So this becomes 36,790. So I need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So that means I need to multiply it by 10 to the power of 4. Or that's the same as 1 with 4 zeros after it, which is 10,000. All right. So let me quickly clear this. Now, the next thing that we're going to go into is we're going to look at something called the scale of the universe, right? Basically, we're going to be looking at, so let me switch my screen. We're going to be looking at, where is it? This thing here. Now, this thing has sound. I want to get rid of the sound. Here we go. Now this, if you ever want to check this out yourself, you can go to scaleofuniverse.com. And essentially this is just comparing the sizes of different objects, right? Now, at this particular level, we're at our normal human level of objects. So we're looking, okay, a human is about 1.7 meters on average, right? And that's what we're used to. If we start zooming out, if we start coming out, so I'm going to go this way, right? We start getting bigger and bigger things, right? And we can see, okay, a human compared to an elephant. Well, an elephant is about 5 meters, or 5 times 10 to the 0, right? So what we're looking at is like the magnitude, how big things are. Elephants probably, what, maybe 2.5 times a human. You can kind of view it in comparison here. Giraffes are much taller compared to that human, right? What's that, 6 meters? A T-Rex, how big was a T-Rex? 7 meters, right? So a T-Rex actually wasn't that much bigger than a giraffe. Did not know that. But let's keep going. Let's keep going out. Let's see how big we get. All right. The biggest tree, redwood trees, 100 meters tall, right? 100 meters tall is about the size. It's taller than the Statue of Liberty. There you go. How big is that? And we can keep zooming out, right? And I want you to think about it. Look at this number in the bottom, right? 10 to the power of 2.4. Really, let's just think about it in terms of how many zeros at the end. So if we're at 2.2, that's about 10 to the power of 2, which is about 100 meters, right? So all of these objects are about 100 meters tall. We get to the Hoover Dam, right? It's about is about 200 meters tall, right? We're still in the order of hundreds of meters tall. And we'll start going out and out and out. All right, so Uluru, 3 kilometers or 3,000 meters. I think this is across. No, this is tall. There you go. This is how tall it is, 3,000 meters tall at its highest point. Central Park is definitely in terms of meters across. I'm not sure about that one, actually, Uluru. Mount Everest, how tall is this one? 8.8 kilometers. So this is on the order of thousands of meters tall, 10 to the 4, right? 10 with 4 zeros, 1 with 4 zeros after it. We're talking about thousands of meters tall, right? So we get really, really big here. So Mount Everest on the same size as Halley's Comet, 11 kilometers, right? So what's that? About 9 to 11. So it's about 2,000 meters taller. And so this just shows you how big things are in the universe, right? Like we're talking about how big things are, right? So this is the state of Rhode Island in the US, like how I guess you can't really say how tall it is, but how wide it is, how long it is. How long is that? 75 kilometers across. So that's 75,000 meters, right? We're getting bigger. We're getting to the orbit of little moons. I think Nix and Hydra, they're Pluto's moons, right? And so and when we're talking about celestial bodies here, we're talking about like the diameter of it, right? So from one side of the object to the other side of the object, how long is that? And that is on the size of how long Brunei is, right? State of Brunei. The Grand Canyon, they're all in the same order. And then we start going out into the order of millions of meters, right? So this is thousands of kilometers. Is California, Italy is as big as some of these big planets. Pluto doesn't count as a planet, doesn't it, anymore? No, so they're not planets. I think these are all like moons or I can't remember what the word for it is anymore. Here's our first planets. We've got Moon, we've got Mercury, we've got Mars, right? So it starts going really, really big. And so we're talking about millions of meters here. Then we start going out to 10 to the 8. What's that? That's 1 with 8 zeros after it. So we're talking, what is that? Hundreds of millions of meters wide, right? We'll go even bigger. Look at this. How big is, so the sun compared to us, right? Let's zoom back in. Where are we? That's how big the sun is, right? So if you look at that little dot of the Earth, as we zoom out, look how big that dot gets compared to the sun, right? That's the difference in size we're looking at. Massive, right? Then we start going further out. We start going into bigger and bigger red dwarfs and different celestial bodies, right? And then eventually we start going out into nebulas and star systems, right? And it just gets massive and massive, 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 right? So really cool app to have a look at how big things can get, and that just puts into perspective how small we are. But really, the reason why I'm coming through this is not to show you through that. I actually want to show you through the other end, right? I want to go through the small scale, right? So not only can we see how small we are in the universe, we can actually see how much smaller things get. So we're here at the level of a human. I'm just going to check the time. We've got 10 minutes left. All right, I've got to smash through this, right? You ready? So we're going to go through smaller. So as we go down, this is 10 to the negative 1, right? And I'm just going to say that this basically means this is 0.0 something, right? So this is 0.0. Sorry, let's have a look here. Yeah, this is 10 centimeters or 0.1 meters, right? So that's how big a shoe is. As we go smaller, let's have a look. A marble, right? 1.5 centimeters. So is this 0.01 meters? This is the level that we're getting to. An ant, 4 millimeters. So this is 0.00 something meters, right? So we're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And this is one of the best indications of how we use our decimal system, right? Because things get so small, like we can't even measure them in the human eye. So by here, we're starting to get to microscopic level, right? You can see here, we're talking about bacteria, we're talking about chromosomes, right? We get really, really small. So this is on the order of 0.000001 meters, right? We're getting tiny, tiny. Viruses, we're going to individual cells, right? This is the level of DNA, which is times 10 to the negative 9. What does that even look like, right? This is 0.000000. I need 9 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then a 1, right? That's how small we're talking. And yeah, so really, really cool way that decimals are used just to measure the size of things, right? I'll let you go explore this further. There's so many things that you can click on and just find out about. Really cool. Go have a look, all right? Now, let's go back. We've got 10 minutes, right? I am actually going to blitz through the next couple of questions because otherwise we are not going to have time for the, what do you call it? The puzzle at the end. And I really want to share this puzzle with you. So, all right, back in. Ready? Now, the next 4 or 5 questions are all about adding, subtracting, or multiplying decimals. Take some time. I'm gonna give you the first one. I want you to draw out your answer of adding these 2 decimals, right? Feel free to have a go. And I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. All right. All right, 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Let's stop there. Let's have a look at everyone's answers. How did you do it? All right. Oh, nearly got to the answer at the end. So remember that when you're adding and subtracting decimals, you got to line up your place value. Decimal place lines up. I'm going to look at this person. This person seems to have done a great job. Show me. Oh, no, that's not the one. This person's gone nuts. How do I change someone else? No. All right. I can't seem to do it this way. Here we go. There we go. This is what I want. Let me find it. All right. This person's done a good job. So place value lines up. Ones, decimal point, tenths, hundredths. And if it doesn't line up, remember, all you do is you put a 0, right? So there's a 1 here. You can put a 0 here. And then you're just adding them up like normal, right? Normal addition. 1 and 0, 4 and 8. 6 and 3. When you added the 4 and the 8, they gave you 12. So you put the 2 down, carry the 1, right? 6 and 3, add the 1 is 10, put the 0 down, carry the 1. And then, so you would have ended up with 5, 8, 13 plus 1 is 14, right? So it's 14.021 was that answer for that one. All right, so the next one is, it's a subtraction. I'm going to skip this one. Don't worry about this one. By the way, very, very similar to adding. So you just make sure that everything lines up. But what I do want to do is, I want you to calculate the value of this multiplication, right? So you got 30 seconds. Go. Write it out. Do your multiplication. Tell me what you get. All right, 5 seconds left. 1 and stop. All right, let's have a look. So I'm going to find someone that has not so blocky writing. Oh, quite blocky. Oh, by the way, you can change the thickness of your writing. There's an option to like scroll it down. All right. I'm going to use this person's. All right. This person looks like they know what they're doing. All right. So remember, when you're multiplying, the decimal points at the start don't really matter, right? What you want to do is just ignore the decimal points, line them up like you would normally in a multiplication, and multiply like normal. So you'd go 2 times 6 is 12, put the 2 down, carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, add the 1 is 7, right? Do the same thing. Forget the decimals for now. 3 times 6, 18. Oh, sorry, this person got it right, I didn't. Because you're doing the next number along, next decimal point along, put the 0 down before you multiply, then multiply, right? Go 3 times 6 is 8, put the 8 down, carry the 1. 3 times 3 is 9, add the carried 1 is 10. So you've got 1080 here. you add these two numbers together. So remember, this is exactly like multiplication if you didn't have decimals so far. Add them together, so 2 and 0 is 2, 8 and 7 is 15, carry the 1, 1 and 0 is 1, 1, nothing is 1 again. Now, the only difference is at the end here, you've got to put the decimal point back in. And you ask yourself, well, where do you put the decimal point in? Well, the answer is you've got to put the decimal point in however many digits are behind the decimal point in your question. That's how many digits have to be behind the decimal point in your answer. So I've got the 6's behind the decimal point, the 2's behind the decimal point. So I've got 2 digits here. So my answer has to have 2 digits behind the decimal point. So 2, 1, and 2. And so my decimal point goes in between the 11 and the 5 and the 2, right? So the answer is 11.52. Well done to this person. Okay, let's go to the next one. Calculate the value of the division. I'm going to skip this for now. If you want to learn about this, maybe Google it, round it up. And I'm going to skip these as well, right? I'm going to skip these as well. I want to go to our puzzle, right? We don't have much time left. It's three minutes left. You ready? Okay, this is the puzzle. I have 10 pegs, and I have them all lined up in a row. And those pegs are all numbered 1 through 10. Now remember, this intro one I'm going to do with you, but the next one that I'm going to give you, it's going to be a take-home activity. And I'll talk about that in a second, right? But this is just, you don't need to do anything for now, just watch for now. So 10 pegs in a row, and I'm going to number them 1 through 10. So let me just quickly show you what that looks like. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And they're numbered, right? So this is numbered 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And a peg, by the way, is just like a stake. It's like a stick. Okay, so I've got my 10 pegs all lined up in a row. And I have to follow the next couple of rules. So the first rule is that when I start, I knock over the first peg that I can, starting from the left, and I alternate pegs. So alternate means like you skip one, right? So for example, I'm going to start with the 1 and I'm going to knock that one over. Let me use a different color. I'm going to knock that one over. He goes away. And then I alternate. So I don't knock the next one over, but I knock the one after that. So the 2 doesn't knock over, but the 3 gets knocked over. And then I alternate again. So the 4 doesn't get knocked over, but the 5 does. Okay. And I keep doing that. So skip the next one, do this one, skip the next one, do this one. And so I've knocked over every alternate peg. When I get to the end of all my pegs, I start again from the start. But this time, because I've knocked over the first one already, I don't knock over that one again. I knock over a new one, the next starting one. So I knock over this one here. And then I alternate again. So I don't knock over the next one, which is the 4, but then I knock over the next one after that, which is the 6. I don't knock over the 8 because I've got to alternate, and then I knock over the 10. Okay? So I keep doing this over and over again until I only end up with 1 peg left. So I start again, right? Because I've gotten to the end of all my 10 pegs. I go back to the start and I say, okay, I knock over, I've done something very wrong here. I knock over the first one and then I alternate. Now, what have I done wrong? No, I haven't done something wrong. I've done it completely right. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. So I knock over the first peg and then I alternate. So I don't knock over the 8. And once I've knocked over that 4 anyway, the 8 is the last peg remaining. So the number of the last peg to be knocked down for 10 is 8. Okay. So this is the puzzle that I've given to you, which is you're lining pegs up in a row, you're numbering them, and you're knocking them down, alternating over and over and over again. The question is what is the number of the last peg to be knocked down? And in this case, it was 8. Now, this is the question that I've got for you today. And you have to, by the way, you don't have to, you can if you want to, answer this question. If you want to answer this question at home, I strongly suggest that you take a screenshot of this now. My slides will be put up and this recording will be put up later as well. Give us a day or two, but it will be up by the weekend. And so, or hopefully by the end of tomorrow. This is what I want you to tell me. Not 10 pegs, 60 pegs. If you've got 60 pegs lined up in a row, and all of those pegs were numbered, and you followed these two rules of knocking them down, alternating, and then starting again and knocking them down and alternating, what will be the number of the last peg to be knocked down if you had 60 pegs in a row? Okay. And if you can, tell, and I haven't put it up here, but just for a bit of an extension, tell me what the number would be if you had 100 pegs in a row. Okay, so line up 60, line up 100, knock them down, alternating. Tell me what the last number peg to be knocked down will be, or the last peg standing, I should say, would be. Okay, so take a screenshot of that. We're going to basically wrap it up there because I think I'm 2 minutes over. So we're going to wrap it up there. I'm going to stick around on the call for a little bit longer if you want to ask any questions, or maybe for another 5 or 10 minutes. But I hope you've had some fun. I hope you learned something new, or at least revised something. And I hope to see you next week. All right. Stay safe. Thanks for coming. And I hope you're all having fun at school, being back at school. All right. See you later, everyone. Take care. Hope to see you next week. Bye-bye now.
Richmond,
Yeah.
do you want to let, some people are asking where they could find the previous recordings. Is that available? For
So if you go to mathspace.co, you don't even need the www, just go to mathspace.co. You can, there's a little link that says go to the Academy. And then once you click on the Academy, you can basically click on Year 7, and there will be a pile of where you can find all the recordings, I should say. Alternatively, you could just Google Mathspace Academy, and it's like the first thing that comes up as well, and you can find it there as well. Any last questions, by the way? Your friends can join Mathspace Academy, even if he doesn't use Mathspace. So yeah, feel free to get them on here. Really, Mathspace itself is when you want to practice the questions using the Mathspace program. And in that case, he'd need to either ask his school or ask his parents to try and get it for him. But yeah, absolutely. This is free for everyone. Anyone can come join Mathspace Academy. Okay. All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.